Flexible exposure mode on Sony cameras is a game-changing feature that can revolutionize your shots and elevate your storytelling. Are you ready to ditch the old past mode? Let's get started.
Gen X Cinema, filmmaking and photography.
Hey everyone, George here from Gen X Cinema, and this video will be exploring an underappreciated feature on Sony cameras called flexible exposure mode. In this video, we'll also see how you can combine flexible exposure mode with memory recall function to achieve the next level of creative mastery. Before we move forward, please hit the subscribe button to get notified when I upload new videos. Thank you. So what's the difference between flexible exposure mode and the past mode? First things first, past mode is actually 4 different modes. Let's quickly recap them. Program, aperture, shutter priority, and manual. In program mode, the camera automatically sets shutter speed and aperture to achieve what it considers proper exposure. In aperture priority, you control aperture while the camera controls the shutter speed. In shutter priority mode, you control shutter speed and camera controls aperture. And in manual mode, you have full control over your exposure. I have to confess, initially I really struggled to understand the flexible exposure mode. I'm coming from a photographic background and all I wanted to use was aperture priority or shutter priority depending on what kind of scene I was shooting. Most of the time we shoot video in M mode, and for a good reason. Shutter speed is mostly fixed at twice the frame rate, and the aperture is normally dictated by your creative goals. For example, if you want to achieve a really shallow depth of field that calls for a wide aperture, say 1.8, you cannot really achieve the same with an aperture of 11. However, there are cases where we might need quick switching between automatic and manual modes for ISO, shutter speed, and aperture, and one of such cases is rapidly changing exposure. That's when flexible exposure mode becomes priceless. Flexible exposure mode allows you to toggle between automatic and manual for ISO, shutter speed, and aperture as desired, rather than having to dial between different modes of P, A, S, and M. And that's the key difference between flexible exposure mode and the past mode. When you activate the flexible exposure mode, for example on a Sony A7IV camera, by default the custom buttons C1, C2, and C4 become toggles for automatic and manual mode for ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. And now here comes a promised tip. I will share with you how to combine flexible exposure mode with memory recall functions to achieve total control over exposure during shooting. I like shooting normal video in 24p, slow-mo in 60p, and super slow-mo in 120p. I have assigned 24p shooting to custom mode 1, 60p shooting to custom mode 2, and 120p shooting to custom mode 3, all in flexible exposure modes. As a result, all I have to change between 24p, 60p, and 120p is to use the dial on the camera, and at the same time I retain the toggle for automatic and manual for ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. Imagine how much power this gives you in run-and-gun situations where agility is important and you cannot afford to make mistakes with exposure. Now, this is something that you cannot really achieve with the past mode, can you? You are more than welcome to prove me wrong in the comments below. I hope you liked this video. Please hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop. Until the next time.